I mean, the idea is for us to get out there in communities and engage with them and find out what it is that the older people want.
We're an ageing population. People are living longer, which is a good thing, but it's also a difficult thing.
Well, I've had many conversations with people who go to groups who've just said, you know, they've enjoyed making new friendships, and in some cases have become volunteers themselves within the group and linked into like the local hall, local community hall more as a volunteer, and met other people too. So that, you know, that's great to hear.
The RCOP is reshaping care for older people. The idea being that if we can keep older people within their communities or, you know, within a homely setting for longer, then it's much better for them. Older people don't want to go into care homes unless they absolutely have to. They don't want to go into hospital unless they absolutely have to. So if we can look at things that will keep them active within their communities and get communities keeping an eye on them, then that's the best we can ask for.
The big strength that RCOP has is that we can go across all agencies, we can work with the voluntary sector, work with health service. We really have no boundaries. Having come from a health service background, I really find that exciting.
One of the things that we found most helpful was the questionnaire and survey that RCOP did across Easter Ross, which has identified what the older people really do want, opposed to what we think they want, and providing services that are poorly attended or not attended. I was quite amazed to find out that 2 of the things that were put down on the survey were fishing and dancing, which is perhaps not something that we would have been forthcoming with prior to that survey.
I think a lot of rural communities have quite a lot of elderly people in their population. It's a nice environment when you're retired, and although people tend to know each other and tend to talk and communicate with people regularly, they might not pop in or go to the shops, and sometimes I think some elderly people can feel awkward about asking for help. Because they don't want to feel they're a burden to anybody, whereas I think when there's a scheme set up, like befriending, it makes it okay because it's all agreed up front and makes it easier for people to be supported and helped.
They bring together people who would normally not go out, and I know that for a fact because one particular lady who sadly died over Christmas, very sorely missed, she only ever went to that club. That's all she did. She wasn't a churchgoer. So the only time she left the house, got dressed up and made the effort to go out of the house was to go to the Tuesday afternoon club. And latterly, as she got less able to go out, they would go and see her.
RCOP have been involved in things like the men's shed in Inverness, and there are several other men's sheds in the process of being set up as well. Other things are like the Skifities, that is a project in Lochaber. All sorts of things are going on.
Avoch is full of boat builders. This is a fishing community, and most of these boat builders are actually elderly, retired. Unfortunately, in our case, they were quite bored.
Well, we've all just met each other
through it. It's a social.
We didn't know each other before, so
event as well. It's open to the community and trying to encourage people to get together. And it's the tradition of the rowing skiff and all these old fishing villages.
They started talking about having the Skifities and the boats and building boats, and I've always fancied the idea of building a boat. Never done anything like this before. So we thoroughly enjoyed building that one last winter. And then the rowers decided that one boat wasn't enough for them. So we're building another one. But it's a nice social thing to do, go out and row in the boat. You know, four friends can go out and row the boat. Go round to Lochaber, up to Marion, stuff like that. So it's good.
We started out with a pipe dream. We know nothing about funding. We're no different to lots of other pockets or groups. The benefit of RCOP is that she's a one-stop shop. We went to her, we spoke to her, and she made it happen, and made it happen quickly.
I mean, you can see from community groups like this today and many of the other ones, without an initial kickstart, then a lot of them don't get off the ground. One of the big things that we come across actually is volunteer fatigue, and this is something that people just don't appreciate. Volunteers are a great asset in our communities.
I've been involved in the St Ninians friendship group almost since I came into post. I was aware that the church group there wanted to support older people who were isolated in the community. So we met and they put forward some ideas, and we had some funding that we could support them with getting the group started.
And one of the things that we felt was really important was to provide transport for people who were coming. So through Heather we were given funding to pay for a minibus to go around and collect the people who wanted to come. So that's been really useful, and I think they have as much fun on the minibus as they do here actually. So basically it's a very informal group. People come along for a chance to have a blether. We talk about all sorts of different things, but today I've asked people to bring along a little photo of themselves when they were younger, and we'll see what happens.
Going out to community groups and seeing older people and seeing how much fun they get out of going along, having that social interaction, tackling isolation for older people, you know, that's key to it really. I mean, it's said that isolation can be the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. You know, we can beat that by just giving them a group to go to.